friends, in Finnish mythology, there were various beliefs and customs related to death and the afterlife. For instance, the concept of Kalma and referred to spirits or beings associated with death and the dead. There were also beliefs in protective charms and rituals to ensure a safe passage to Tuonela, the Finnish land of the dead. The concept of Tuonela and its ruler Tuoni has been a fundamental element in Finnish folklore and literature for centuries. It has inspired many writers, poets and artists, and the idea of Tuonela as the land of the dead has had a significant impact on Finnish culture. Before we start, I want to note that Finnish mythology and folklore are diverse, with different regional variations and oral traditions. The stories and beliefs about Tuoni and Tuonela may vary depending on the source and location. As with many mythological tales, different versions may coexist, with the details of the stories changing over time. Now, let's take a look at the Finnish underworld and its rulers. In Finnish mythology, Tuoni is the personification of death and the ruler of Tuonela, the realm of the dead. He is often depicted as a dark and shadowy figure, embodying the concept of death and the afterlife. Tuoni is not considered one of the major deities in Finnish mythology, but his role as the ruler of the land of the dead gives him significant importance. Tuonela is a dark and gloomy underworld, and is also known as Manala or Mana in some variations. It is a place where the souls of the deceased journey after they die. Manala was also associated with Pohjola, which is found in various forms in the underworld, but it is also the north and the outer edges of the universe, outside the known human world. Pohjola was of course ruled by the goddess Louhi, a variant of Loviatar, the goddess of death and disease. And so it can be thought that when the heroes of the Finnish epic, the Kalevala, are said to make the treacherous journey to Pohjola to confront Louhi, the Finns understood them to cross over to the land of the dead and challenge its ruler. Now I find this variation very interesting, as it can mean that the different Finnish regions and groups had different ideas as to who the ruler of the underworld was, some favouring a male ruler in the form of Tuoni, while others favoured a female ruler in the form of Louhi Loviatar. What it could also mean is that Louhi was an older goddess and original ruler of the underworld, who was eventually demoted to merely being the ruler of the fierce north, and replaced as ruler of the underworld by the male Tuoni. I must stress though that I am only speculating here, as I haven't found many English sources on Finnish mythology and religion, but the movement of an original female-led pantheon to a male-dominated pantheon is a phenomenon in various cultures across the world, so I do not think it impossible to have happened in Finland as well. Now Tuoni is married to Tuonetar, the queen of the underworld, known as the Virgin of Death, with whom he fathered the deities Kivutar and Vammatar, goddesses of pain, disease and suffering, Kalma, goddess of death and decay, or of graves, and Loviatar, while other sources also credit Kipu-Tyttö, the goddess of pain, and Tuonen Poika, a male figure described as a protector of Tuonela, as their children. Another daughter of Tuoni is Tuonen Tytti, who acts as a gatekeeper between the world of the living and Tuonela. In some versions, Tuoni is said to bring the dead to Tuonela, Tuonen Tytti brings them over the river, Tuonetar receives them, and Tuonen Poika guards the river and prevents people from escaping. When the hero Vainamoinen arrives in Tuonela in the Kalevala, Tuonetar offers him a goblet of beer, but when he looks closer, he can see it is actually a black poison made of frog spawn, young poisonous snakes, lizards, adders and worms. If a person drinks the brew, known as the beer of oblivion, they forget they have ever existed and are unable to return to the land of the living, for only Tuonetar and Tuoni's children were allowed to leave Tuonela. To reach Tuonela, the deceased must cross the dark river. This river acts as a boundary between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. There are no bridges to cross the river, and the souls need to find a way to navigate its waters. In some Finnish myths, there are maidens or fairy women known as Tuonen Tytti or Tuonen Neidot, who aid the souls of the deceased in crossing the river to reach Tuonela. They are often depicted as young, mysterious women who guide the dead on their journey. The boat used for this journey is often described as made of tuoi, that is, birch bark. In some variations, the deceased are buried with coins placed in their mouths or under their tongues. These coins are intended to serve as payment to the Tuonela maidens for their passage across the river. The dead who arrive in the underworld also thought to have Tuoni's hat on their head, Manala's chains around their neck, Tuoni's mittens in their hands, surma or death's bridles in their mouth, and Tuoni's reins on their shoulders. From these signs, the gatekeeper of Tuonela knows the person to be truly dead. As always, thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, share and subscribe. Till next time, bye bye.